Hi, this is Rick Frederick reviewing an article by Johnson, Hashtroudi, and Lindsay on source monitoring. This is a review article on source monitoring. So that's important in child testimony because it's important to be able to evaluate where our memories came from. To evaluate their believability, their reliability, their validity. So source refers to a variety of characteristics that tell us how a memory was acquired. Might be when it happened, where it happened, what was the situation, how did I get this information is it's an essential element of a memory. Where did this memory come from? So memories that do not include a good source are dubious. We were saying, well, I'm not sure, don't really recall. I might recall some belief I have, but why I have the belief is not supported by source. So the ability to identify the source of remembered information is critical for many cognitive tasks. And if it has no source, we just call it belief. Well, this is something that I believe. I'm not sure why I believe this, but or everybody knows that. That is a fact. 2 plus 2. You're probably not aware of how you learned that 2 plus 2 is 4. It's a fact. You don't recall how you learned it or why you believe that. And it's probably trivial to you to be able to remember. Well, it's just something that we know. But when you believe something and you don't know why, it can be disruptive or anxiety generating for you. So amnesia might be a disruption in source recall. So source monitoring itself refers to the set of processes that we use in making attributions about the origins of memories, knowledge, and beliefs. Now, there's different sorts of source monitoring. Reality monitoring might be discriminating memories of internally generated information from memories of externally derived information. It could be a conclusion. I reach a conclusion based on thinking through some events, and now I have a new belief, and so my reality monitoring capacity says, well, I reached this conclusion by thinking about A, B, and C, and realized that D was present, as opposed to observing D or having somebody tell me that D occurred. So who told me something, was it Bill or Tom, would be external source monitoring. Where did I get this? And of course, if you've ever had the experience of telling a joke to the person who told it to you, then you know that's an error of external source monitoring. They just stand there and say, hey, I just told you that joke last month. Don't you recall that? Internal source monitoring might be discriminating memories of what I thought versus memories of what I told somebody, or some other distinction between cognitive processes that lead you to believe something. Most of our source monitoring decisions are made rapidly. We don't think about it. This is what I can remember. Oh, I know where I heard certain vocabulary words that I recall. We all have peculiarities of things that I remember exactly where I heard that joke, who told it to me, what was happening. So certain things that I learned that recipe at this event, so on and so forth. But what's important here is that when we retrieve source information, we're not only retrieving it, but we're interpreting what is retrieved. Well, what's the quality of this experience I had? Errors are inevitable, and this would be something that we're well aware of as we contemplate, well, what did happen, because we know that we make mistakes. And so this is important for testimony. We might require a substantial amount of perceptual detail, for example, to testify with confidence that something happened. And understand that different things can influence why we believe what we do, or what's the quality of a memory we expect people to be more careful about the origin of information when they're testifying than at a party. So, are you sure this is what she said? Is a source monitoring decision. So we have different degrees of confidence, specificity, so on and so forth. And then it's important to study source monitoring and how errors occur. So if you look at the research in this area, we're always interested in source monitoring errors in children. We're interested in childhood testimony errors. And how did people learn what they believe? Why does a child believe what they say happened? Is it because they were told? Is it because they experienced it? Their source monitoring errors are important to us, and so there's a vast literature on source monitoring. This article is almost 25 years old, 93, I think. There's just scores and scores of papers on source monitoring problems developmentally. And then what else occurs for source monitoring? Well, stress level, intoxication level. What else is going on when things occur? It's an integral part of normal cognition. Errors are inevitable. Again, it's a critical everyday memory functioning. We would be lost without it. Thank you very much.